Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, not bad. I was up before the sun was really bright. It was just coming up this morning, and I couldn't even spell yet. I had gotten on Google and, oh no, not Google, Bing, and I was doing some online shopping for a refrigerator. I spelled refrigerator wrong. It didn't even correct me. It just took me to where I wanted to go, the town I'm shopping in and whatever, with the wrong spelling on it and everything. It's like, wow, they don't even care. They used to, like, did you want to include this or whatever? It's like they didn't even care. Yeah, it didn't matter. I found what I was looking for. I think I have. Um, I'm going to talk today about uh, do narcissists respect other people? Quick answer, not at all. Um, if you're in an environment where, say, your knowledge base of narcissism from being around them, you can speak to how that has an effect on a normal person. A narcissist cannot speak to that. They can only look at that from their perspective. But I mean, they're not going to respect you with any information you have or anything that's contradictory to what they want to push, which is enabling the narcissists out on this planet. My viewpoint is if you are so mentally ill, so mentally handicapped that you have to act out of sorts behind closed doors or in public, that's a criminal action. You're criminally insane, and you do not have the right to interact with other people. It's like I shared a meme about having a lot of rage inside. Yeah, sometimes I do. It's not an ongoing thing, it's not a daily thing. But sometimes that shit just hits me. But um okay, I had a narcissist in my life emotionally telling me how to conduct my life. And yet when I say something, it's not heard. They're listening for what to say next, not actually what was said or how to work on things together to progress to betterment of whatever given situation. But I thought it was kind of comical that somebody would school me in my emotions and my communication skills when at college I was in the top of my class in communications, social communications. But yet, a narcissist is going to tell me how to interact in public without the same skill set. They can't, like if you've been run over by a car or hit by a car physically or anything like that, um, they can't speak to something that they haven't been through. You know, they can only, from their viewpoint and with their nature of not having that mutual respect for other people. I'm talking about people that are unlike them, not similar personalities that can congregate and correlate on the same level. I'm talking about somebody that is absolutely different than how you portray yourself if you're a narcissist. I'm thinking in particular like Professor Sam Vaknin. He can tell people a lot about his personality traits, but he surely can't speak to how that feels to be somebody else on the receiving end of his personality. You know, he can only speak to what he knows. It's like men trying to speak on behalf of women. Well, I grew up around a bunch of women, and does that make you emotionally connected to the female spirit? Or are you just kind of adjusting to your environment? It certainly doesn't give you the inner insight of what it is to be a woman. It just gives you an idea of what it is to be one. That's as a woman, that's my outlook. Telling a man you could never know what it feels like, no more than I could know what it's like to be a man, you know? I mean, anyway, my point is with all this is the mental health field is pushing the A-OK for a narcissist functioning in our society like a well-rounded human being, like it's normal and it's natural when it stems from trauma and abuse. So we're gonna what? Overlook the whole world um, playing on its traumas and displaying that in front of everybody else. And we're gonna give it a healthy pass because the majority is like that. Majority rules. Is that what this is? You're a tyrant, or there's a bunch of tyrants, and we're just supposed to give it a pass because it's the in thing to do? Is that what we're doing here, people? So where's the betterment of working together for helping people? How do we structure our society and get together and actually reach people with a new outlook on things instead of the pacifist mindset, like turn the other cheek type of feeling, and you know forgiveness is cool up to a point until it's actually destroying people's lives, you know. Let me see, what was it? I had something on my mind about what Christ said when God said eye for an eye. Christ teaches to turn Jesus, not Christ. It was actually specifically Jesus said, I tell you this is not true. Well, what is he doing? Contradicting God? That he would tell you to turn the other cheek? I've had my cheekbone broken. No thanks. I only have one other one on my face. I'd like to keep that intact if you don't in mind, you know. I'm sick of society catering to the narcissist mindset. It's like brings to mind I knew a young female that thought it was funny to watch shows like Mean Girls and Pretty Little Liars. You're not pretty and you're not mean enough. That's my outlook. But why? Why would somebody want to watch shows like that? Talk about conditioning. Shit, if you want to be mean, just piss off a real woman. We'll show you where it's at. And we'll be pretty while we're doing it, too. I got some outside work done yesterday on that kitty house. I might do a little bit later. I've got some insulation I'm going to put up in there. Not a bunch, just scraggler pieces, and that's kind of how I built the thing, just with what I've got. But yeah, I did a lot of the outside stuff around there for them and getting things ready, making it easier for me to feed them in the winter too, getting things out of the way that accumulated through the summer, But anyway, it was a beautiful day out yesterday, really incredible. Till last night, and then it started kind of raining. Not a lot, but a little bit. But so, what do you all think about the mental health field pushing tyranny as a mental illness? You see something wrong there? I do. I consider mental illness like a lot of them stem from physical abnormalities, perhaps like Down syndrome and um, epilepsy and well, no, let me take that back. Epilepsy isn't a mental illness. That's a physical thing. Um, Let me see. They're autism, um, things like that. That's a mental illness. Neurological diseases like Parkinson's and which becomes physical. I mean, yeah, but what is it inside of a person that's cruel? Well, that's where you get like the cluster B personalities, and you call that mental illness. I call it evil. See, that's why we can't give this shit a pass. These people know what they're doing every second of their life, just like you and I. There's a channel, Narc Daily, that reminds us often they put their pants on the same way we do, one leg at a time. They can tie their shoes. This is mine. Just like we do. Some of them. But yeah, I am allergic to narcissists. Because they are liars, they're dishonest. They'll never, that is true. This is true. They're never going to respect another human being unless it suits them to pretend that they see somebody as their equal, because they never will, you know? Not for any reason. That's a true narcissist. They aren't going to try and build a community to actually teach or help or anything. It's all, I'm pretending I'm a narcissist. It's all me, me, me. And I don't have any construction base to my nature. It's all exhibiting my greatness, and nobody else contributed to that. And if they did, nobody's going to know anyway, because I'm just the biggest, the best, and the most. That's their outlook. Or did you ever meet somebody that you think at first that their personality is just awesome, and they have a cute smile or whatever, and you think, wow, this is a really cool person, and then the other shoe drops and you find out that there's no sacrifice for anybody but themselves. If they have to do something out of their nature that entails any kind of hard work, it's not for you or anybody else, it's for themselves. And if you're around when they have to work, you're going to pay for it. A narcissist never works for free, from my observation. You'll pay for it. Do you ever do the same job next to somebody and listen to them bitch every second of their existence? You know, that's horrible. Because, like, you might be the type of person that can go to any job and do anything anywhere and have a great day, you know. Or you could be the type of person that has a pretty good job and doesn't matter what you do in your 8 hours, you're going to be a miserable thing because that's your nature. You just don't go into life, get up in the morning with a jovial mindset. It's a miserable existence. At least I think it would be. If I had to depend on somebody else to regulate my emotions, that's using people. That's tyranny. But once again, especially if they haven't um, dealt in the psychological mind with a firm understanding that they weren't insane to begin with, well, if they do have a mental illness, they're probably going to have a hard time expressing the depth of a human mind, right? How could you gather compassion when it's not there? I think it's possible for people to change if they see the error of their ways. But a narcissist isn't examining themselves because why do they need to? They're God in their mind. So why examine yourself for any of your faults? Because you're going to keep them ongoing. You don't want to stop what you're doing. That's why. And you want to enable other people with that lack of self-control and compassion towards other people. You want to enable those types of people along with you. So you have a larger group of the lowness that that's your habitat, you know? Like I say, what do you think? Do you think mental illness or evil? You know? My dyslexia is considered a mental illness. My dyslexia has to do with word recognition and numbers and some other thinking patterns that aren't typically the norm. That's in the mind. That's not an emotional feeling. That's not a tyranny. Nothing. If I see a word wrong, I'm not causing anybody harm. That's a illness I had that I had to learn to overcome. I found different tricks and keys and different things to help me be able to read when I was a kid and different things like that. Um, it's something you can overcome with pattern recognition and that type of thing, depending on there's different aspects to dyslexia also. It's not always words or numbers. Sometimes it's different things. Uh, it's not the same as a narcissist. It's like I say, okay, that's not evil, but it's considered a mental illness. You know, is psychopathy. If I were to um, how can I say this so that algorithms don't get pissed? If I were to take a butter knife and off you, is that a mental illness or is that intentional evil? You know, there is a difference. I'm displaying the difference. It should be absolutely logical to you that emotional wellness is a choice. Physical impediments like head injuries or whatever that can lead you to things like Parkinson's or dyslexia and the neurological type things. That's in the mind. That's a mental illness. It's a, a choice of tyranny is not the same as having autism or having dyslexia or those types of things. These are choices these evil people are making, and they're fully aware when they do it. I can't help it if I see a word wrong. It's not my doing. I can't fucking help it. These people can help every step of the way they're going, you know? That's how we prove it. We prove it with logic and facts. And no matter what they say, it's not going to take the truth out of the situation. They don't have any respect for anybody, so there's no working with these type of people. You can't build a community on shaky ground. You have to have a solid base before a solid foundation before you build your home. And without that, it's all lies, it's trickery, it's sorcery, it's bullshit. The tyrants are out in full force. Don't tell me that you had such a butthurt childhood that it turned you into a tyrant. No excuses for your bullshit. Enough of it already. Long time ago. Oh, birds of a feather. And I've seen these people and they get together and they act like they're truly emotionally stable people that can teach other people. But the base of what they're projecting is faulty. And once again, tyranny isn't a mental illness, it's a choice. If you join a group of barbarians, whether it's like BLM or uh, the Nazis or whatever group that you're joining that would cause harm to other people, you could have groups and groups and groups of these people, but it doesn't make it right. So I've had that on my mind, and I'm never. And there's other mental health care professionals that know that they're criminals, that not that they are, but that narcissists are criminally insane. And we don't give them a pass. And you don't turn your other cheek. You tell these people where the cow ate the calf, so to speak, and put them in their place. If you don't do it, if you don't put a monster in its place, it's going to go monster on somebody else until it's put in check. Or Russian or German or no. I think you know what I mean. But yeah, that's some of my studies included the war. Well, all of them included the war that I fight against tyranny and my battle for justice for the wrong that's been done to the innocent on this planet. Everything I've done by way of learning how to battle this type of thing hasn't been for myself. It's been for everybody, and I'm good at it. And I need people to think logically on this, that the mental health care professionals that are shady and narcissistic are going to support their dark force system towards everybody else. And it's the truth. That's what they're doing. And they're making money off it too. I don't need anybody's money. I don't need anything from anybody unless you want to be a good friend. We always need good friends. So, but I'm here to protect innocence, and I'm not going to let these monsters just run around out there and think that they're going to get a flying pass with bad behavior, trying to normalize it as a mental illness when it's evil. And that's the bottom line of it all. So, actually is a really logical way of looking at things. Say if you have two kids, I've told you this scenario before, but if one's acting up, do you punish both of them? Does the one that's acting up, do they know that they are? Um, if there's a good one and you reward them, does the one who's not caring to act well deserve that same reward? You know, I'm not talking under normal situations where, like say there's a classroom full of kids and there's one that's a little crabby or something or whatever, and you brought treats for the whole class, and but you leave little Joey out of it because he was a little tired this morning and acting like a twit or whatever. No, or people in general, like a group of people. I'm talking about these ones that go out of their way to present themselves as godlike with that force of darkness behind them without the mutual respect to other human beings. And the biggest way to stifle the truth of what I'm saying is, like most people do, ignore me. It'll just go away, won't it? No, it won't. And I'll make a way of making my voice heard one way or another. I'm not sure how, but I have a feeling it's going to get a little bit louder. Well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I do appreciate you joining me. If you feel like sharing the truth that narcissism is not a mental illness, I'd appreciate that because it's a really important subject. Because your mental health and the questioning of your emotional stability is going to be questioned in the future if you don't stop what these fuckers are trying to do. You have to help me. I appreciate it. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.